We get to think what it would have been like for the women at the tomb that morning. And we hear the angel give an invitation and a command. Come and see, go and tell. A very simple invitation and a simple command. Come and see, go and tell. That's an invitation and a command that the angel gave to the women at the tomb that morning. Can you imagine what was going through their heads? This is how the gospel writer Matthew describes it at the beginning of chapter 28. After the Sabbath, at dawn on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to look at the tomb. What were these women expecting that morning? The other gospel writers tell us that they had just come from the market carrying spices and other things used to prepare the body and help preserve the body. They had no hope that he was alive. The idea that maybe Jesus had come back to life, that wasn't even on their radar that day. They were just wondering what in the world had just happened. Because it had only been a week since Jesus came into the gates of Jerusalem, and everybody was welcoming him. They seemed happy to see him. They shouted, Hosanna, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. But then for some reason, by the end of the week, they turned against him. He was arrested, and he was put on trial, and they accused him of things that he just simply didn't do. And then they crucified him, and now here we are planning his funeral. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. They were wondering what had happened to Jesus. They were unaware of what took place at that tomb earlier that morning when we're told that there was a violent earthquake. For an angel of the Lord came down from heaven and going to the tomb, rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning, and his clothes were white as snow. The guards, you remember that the priests were so afraid that Jesus' followers were going to come and steal the body that they actually put guards at the grave. Because they said, wait a second, Jesus said he was going to come back on the third day, so we better make sure that nobody comes and messes with this body. They put guards there. It's interesting how the chief priests seemed to remember that Jesus said that, but the disciples, they had forgotten. But anyway, the soldiers were so afraid of the angel that they shook and became like dead men. They passed out because they were so terrified at the sight of this angel. I don't blame them, I would have too. They were fully prepared to take on any rebellious followers of Jesus, but they were totally unprepared to deal with an angel, and so they faint because they're so afraid. And then, sometime later, the women show up and they see the angel. And the angel said to the women, do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus, who was crucified. I know what happened to Jesus. He was killed in the most unimaginable way. He was crucified, but guess what? He is not here. He has risen, just as he said. Come and see the place where he lay. Come and see. That was the simple invitation that the angel extended to the women there. Don't just take my word for it. Go on in the tomb and see that he is not there. And they approached and they took a look inside, and they saw no body of Jesus, no sign of Jesus' body. They saw the burial cloth there and the face covering, but no sign of Jesus.